Well, on the job, yes, I have. I was doing a traffic stop, and it was a white male who I had pulled over. He had done an illegal U-turn, and I was talking to him, and he was upset that I was going to cite him for it. And he looked at my name tag, read my last name, was like Valenzuela. I was like, yes, and he said, "What are you doing in this country?" And I just didn't respond. I kept it professional and just decided to. I try not to. It really just depends on the neighborhood and what's going on. And of course, we get bolos like be out on the lookout for this, so it's hard not to, If they're like it's a, white male adult that we're looking for, then I can't, So I kind of just have to do what I'm. It just depends on what's going on.
Police brutality definitely changed, of course, because of a lot of the significance of laws has changed as well. I don't remember exactly what year, but I know you guys know about the whole Rodney King situation and how police was looked upon back then. It's a little bit different now. Back then, I think that departments were more lenient. I think they were getting away with a lot of things when it came to society and brutality. And vice versa today, you see more lawsuits happening. I think more than ever. I worked in a jail before I was a police officer, and it kind of transpired from the jail where you see a lot of lawsuits is happening. So I think that's one of the major keys why police brutality have stopped. And also law enforcement has just changed in general. It's bad areas in each job. If you was a male person to, a veterinarian, it's bad people in every job. And I think that it's important that you focus on what the job is and what's at stake every day that you go out. But getting back on the question, I think that's how we changed. Just because law enforcement got better in just the times, of back then and now.
I think it's less. We got a lot more people filming on their personal cameras, as well as we have body camera footage, so we're a lot more liable. Departments are doing the best to make sure that we're in compliance, so I think it's going down.
I'm not sure. I can't say that it's changed. I think that with the implementation of body-worn cameras, people having cell phone cameras, things like that, I think that helps to document it more. But I can't say, I'm not familiar with the statistics as far as if they have been greater or less because of it, but I think that it's the ability for it to be documented and to gain more statistics on it has changed.
Yes, it did motivate me becoming a police officer because I did want to set an example and, change that stereotype because I am Mexican. And it's just like, Mexicans, all they do is drugs and all this other stuff, crime, and obviously you hear a little bit of Trump. And so I kind of want to change that a bit. While I was attending Penn State, I applied for a job and I was denied the job because my accent was too hard to understand. So I guess I just want to do this profession to set the example for my daughter and just be like, hey, doesn't matter what people say, just keep your head up and keep trying.
I had law enforcement in my family. My uncle was a police officer, so I knew that was something I always wanted to do. As a kid, I looked up to the police because what I seen from police officers was mostly good things. In my neighborhood and in my community, I didn't see too much bad coming from police officers, so I think that influenced my decision to want to be a police officer. Well, I was raised in, I won't say a poor area, but it was in between poor and middle class. And where I'm from, the police treated us pretty fair, if you ask me. If I was raised in a suburban area, I don't think it would have been any different, simply because I was pretty much always a good kid. I'm not saying I was perfect or didn't do anything bad, but I made, good choices in life, so, I was never really bothered by police. But in my community, the police is looked down on simply because it was a lot of people in my community committing crimes. And if you look at the people that hate the police, it's usually the people that's out here doing the wrong things. You don't see law-abiding citizens that hate the police. It's usually people that's been in jail or that did something bad or that's out here currently doing, wrong things and breaking the law.
Everybody's going to be different. Everybody's going to race, people have their own perspectives on things. A lot of that I think is because of their own personal experiences. So all I can do is communicate better with them or educate them and try to be the most positive role model that I can be as an officer, and hope that that kind of works in changing their view of law enforcement, and in hopes trust us more. If we're always honest with them and we live our lives and do our job with integrity, I think that will be a much greater difference, or make a greater difference in how the community and everybody sees us.
Okay.
I think it's unfortunate that a child has to be raised like that, because it's kind of like racism. A child is not born racist. A child. I mean, that's something a child has to be taught. And when you raise a child like that and you put that hate inside of them, I think that's the reason why we have people out here committing these mass murders and doing all this crazy stuff, because they was raised as a child. So I definitely think it affects society and how the world is today.
People raise their kids differently. For me, I think it's a shame, but then again, I can't really judge them. So all I could do is, if given an opportunity to educate people, I will, but I can't really force people my opinions and my whatever. So I just educate them, and as well as I got my own kid, so I'll raise her the way I think it's fit or best. But there's not much I could do. It's a shame.
Yeah.
I think as far as like media, they're always going to pretty much show what the bad ones are doing. All I can do as far as do my part to do the best I can do to educate the community and to protect and serve to the best of my ability. Education, that's really the biggest thing, and communication. If we can build bridges and open the lines of communication with the public and create more partnerships to enhance the quality of life within our communities, I think that it'll speak volumes as far as how people portray law enforcement or how they view what we do.